Welcome to Florida Keys, the place that quickly went from the richest in America to the poorest. 1819, treaty with Spain ceded Florida and Florida Keys to the USA. 1821, John Simonton purchased Key West with partners John Fleming, John Whitehead and Pardon Green. 1823, Commodore David Porter and US Navy's anti-piracy squadron arrived. 1828, City received first charter and was platted by William Whitehead. It's amazing. The whole history of Key West is on these stones. You can do anything here, it's really laid back. You can tour the island on a jet ski. Even the Hard Rock Cafe is pretty. There are lots of ways of getting around the island. You can hire a bike, you can hire a scooter, or you can hire a buggy. Or like us, go with the conch train. Back in 1933, Havana Joe was a rum runner and frequented a bar next to the Silver Slipper dance hall, as did Ernest Hemingway. Now, Sloppy Joe's is a famous bar off Duval Street. The natural sponge industry that made this place so rich were replaced by synthetic sponges. 8 out of 10 people were on benefit. To save the situation, the government sent someone down and he decided on a tourist industry. If that didn't work, they were going to ship everybody back to Tampa. Tourism is what saved this place and gave it its economy back, and they do it so well. The tour guides are very knowledgeable, the people are very friendly. It's Disney World without the rides. Look behind me at the Atlantic Ocean. Now tell me what's missing. There are no waves. There's a huge coral reef out there, but because there are no waves, it's not broken down. So the sand has to be continually imported to make the beaches. Before the lighthouse and system of buoys to aid navigation, the reef used to break up something other than waves. It broke up ships. The richest people in Key West were the wreckers. If your ship foundered, there was no coast guard, so they would come out, save you, and then sell you back your cargo for 4 times the price. Asa Forsyth Tift was a wealthy wrecker. The millionaire built this house in 1851. When he died, his relatives argued about his wealth and his house, so none of them got the house, and it was boarded up until Ernest Hemingway bought it when he came to live here with his second wife Pauline in 1931. This picture was taken 3 weeks before Ernest Hemingway took his own life. His father took his own life, his grandfather took his own life, his siblings. Depression was in the family. So behind me is where Ernest Hemingway wrote 8 novels. He used to get up at 6:30 every morning and go and write. He had a very similar writing room in Cuba. He obviously loved the Caribbean islands as much as he loved women. Just here in front of the writing studio is where Hemingway had his boxing ring. He would pay people to come and box him. He went off to report on the Spanish Civil War, and with him went his mistress. When he returned, he found his wife had turned his boxing ring into a $20,000 swimming pool. So this is Hemingway's last red cent, which he threw at his wife Pauline after she spent all his money on this swimming pool. But there was no water. It wasn't until 1941 that the Navy built a water supply pipeline to the island. All the houses have tin roofs. That's because when they were built, there was no water system. So there were cisterns underneath the house and the rainwater rolled down and was collected. Also, it stopped fire spreading. There have been some massive, terrible fires here. But the wooden houses do have a wonderful chocolate box charm. If you look behind me, you see a brick building. This is where one of the early millionaires here, a cigar manufacturer, kept his stock. He was a winner. This was unusual. All the other houses were built of wood. When there was a massive fire, they all lost their stock, but none of his were harmed. This is truly one of the most picturesque, beautiful places I have ever visited in my life. I've got to come back here and stay. Look at these gorgeous houses. It's like a film set. It's funny how they're 3 windows wide, just like the Art Deco ones in Miami. Key West. Sun, rum, bars, great live music, famous seafood. You have to come here. One of my favourite places I have ever visited. I don't say this very often, but I would come back here any day. It is beautiful. I loved it. So we found Jetty Beach, and now we're going exploring to try and find Cocoa Beach. There's something very, very filmatic about a pier. This coast is famous for shrimp fishing. Welcome to Antigua. They call this place a beach with an island in the middle. It's believed that one of Antigua's beaches is the only beach at which Queen Elizabeth II ever went into the sea.